Okay, great. So first, thank you very much for having me. It's really an honor, and I'm very pleased to be interviewed by you. So my background wasn't always in cybersecurity. I studied and I did a PhD in English, and I carried on working mostly in fields of communications and social media. But there was always a need, it seems, to understand and to have improve better your skills in terms of cybersecurity because it's becoming everywhere in terms of the data breaches and the news you see in terms of hacking. And so therefore, I thought the best thing is to go and pursue that field and this knowledge in terms of cybersecurity in my career that would greatly benefit me. Oh, that's a very good question. I must admit, I've been a fan since 2012 of CEH. I was visit EC Council, so I was visiting the website, looking about the course, and always saying, "Oh, I wish I'll be clever enough to get this certification." For me, it looked like the gold standard. All of my colleagues and the people who work in the cybersecurity industry, the first thing they call it the gatekeeper certificate because it just has a great value. So when I saw it, it was the depth and the breadth of the modules and the knowledge crammed into such a certificate was something that I've never seen before, really. So it was absolutely, and the name was, I think, cleverly chosen, like certified ethical hacker. It can't get any better than this, really. You even sort of say that with pride when you introduce yourself and say, I am a certified ethical hacker. I'm EC Council certified. It's just like everything about it was absolutely great. Okay, absolutely. So as mentioned, although I don't work directly in cybersecurity, the moment I obtained my certification, it's sort of unlocked new doors for me in terms of my career, the respect I get from my colleagues, and the prestige. Even if we were now to bid on new contracts, adding that you have an individual on the team who has this really rare certificate, to get it is something really impressive. And we got commended on this by one of the clients who said, I can't believe that doing this job in terms of working in comms and you already have this sort of certification. So it's unlocked a huge potential for me, and even being able now to talk to suppliers and completely understand the technical jargon that they would talk about in terms of introducing their software or the way they secure their software is really invaluable. I think it's very, very recognized, even to the degree that same like people with many years of experience sometimes can't obtain it, because you need to have the right skills and the right understanding to get that level. So it's not like an easy certification that you could get by only paying money. No, it tests absolutely your knowledge and pushes you to absolutely understand the concepts. So in terms of it's always recognized that if you have a CEH, then you absolutely know the subject matter, and you have that subject matter expertise about cybersecurity concepts and attack vectors and etc. So it is really looked at quite highly in my industry. Oh yeah, so I think it's a really good question, and I think in terms of how it helps me, honestly, it really broadened my scope. So I could give you an example. When you learn CH and you start learning about footprinting or recon on a target, it explains about the tools and talk about the tools, for example, Multigo or any other tools. So having that knowledge and going in your field or work and then saying, I could use this tool to perform, for example, due diligence reports, because this is the way that could connect link and perform link analysis. So I can't tell you how much benefit I got from that. So much so that I led on creating new reports that absolutely utilized some of the core concepts that I only learned because I studied for my CEH. Okay, I think it has. I must talk about probably first about the failure and then about the success. So I attempted 2 exams. I failed the first one. However, I passed on the second one. So the first one I was sad and saying, probably I'm not cut for this certificate. It's just very, very difficult. And although I try to fit and study for it whilst having a job and a family, but the second one, the success, the taste of success was really great. I feel definitely I'm more confident in my ability. So in terms of confidence, speaking to people and understanding. So I don't get now intimidated by complex words or lexicon or jargon in terms of attack vectors, surface, or the way of a hack kill chain, etc. So I feel definitely I have this confidence to calmly assess what's being said and then respond to it appropriately. I think hopefully I am working on this. I started first by offering support for a friend of mine who launched his own website to pen test that website after signing agreement, etc. And I sort of do that on a like pro bono, just that sort of, so I could sort of just give my service and as well just get that sort of experience really. So in terms of helping a friend stress test his website, pen test his website, and see in terms if there are any vulnerabilities. So I think that's sort of the way I'm hoping that I could help and give back to the community. Oh dear, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think there were 20 chapters in the course. So I think I have many favorites really, but I think probably my favorite is the encryption part, learning about encryption techniques and the way you could use encryption to alter your signature and evade detection, etc. So I think it's really valuable even when you go to set your home router. Then you know now, okay, I'm using nearly an obsolete protocol, I should use the latest protocol, etc., because this is really vulnerable to this sort of attack or pass the hash or whatever it is really. So my favorite is definitely encryption really. Absolutely, I think I definitely attribute that the courseware. That first, the courseware is really substantial, so you need to give it really good time to go through it and understand it. So you need to do a lot of extracurricular activity, either go into iLabs and then practicing these concepts immediately, so you hammer them home. One of the things that helped me greatly after I failed my first test, I received a discount code for a test by EC Council, and that really prompted me to go and register for my second test. I think probably if they hadn't done that, probably I would have just stopped, but they sent me that discount, and then I took the test again and I passed. So I think I'd like to think they definitely played a role in terms of that motivating me to go ahead. So I think that's the important thing. Well, if I could say something to EC councillors, keep the iLabs great, really. They are really helpful. If they could extend a little bit the period of people could access them, and I know that probably there are lots of considerations for them, but I think it's one of the greatest ways for people who have no time or resources really to set their own home lab to practice on. I found it really valuable source, absolutely valuable and critical to my success.